Today's video is going to be an edit of me putting all the subframe back together and then actually getting it back into the car. Something really cool, about to hit 900 subscribers. Thank you everybody that's kind of subscribed and follow along on this journey with me. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. The subframe refresh has actually been really exciting. It's actually almost a shame that it looks so nice that you'll never be able to see it because it'll be under the car. But at least I'll know that it's done and hopefully never have to do this again, at least for another couple of decades anyway. Let's get into it. The subframe is now back from powder coating and it looks amazing. Let's take a look. I got it out here in the driveway so you can see in the sun. This thing turned out beautifully. I can't believe how amazing this thing actually looks. It's actually almost a shame that you're not going to be able to see it because it's going to be under the car. But I wanted to point out the subframe reinforcements that I did. This is a GKTech kit, and it's got these basically pieces that go here and get welded in to kind of reinforce where the arms connect. So those are all in there. Got my, well, it's upside down, but these are the new white line bushings. These have all been pressed in. I'll flip it over so you can see it, what it looks like. But this is the other reinforcement piece here. It looks really nice. I don't know if the camera picks it up or not, but this actually has metallic flake in it, which I didn't actually know, but is a pleasant surprise. Yeah, this is a prismatic powder. It's actually called desert charcoal, I believe. Yeah, desert charcoal or desert gunmetal, one of those. I'll actually look it up and show you on there. But yeah, wow. Beautiful. Well, I got the subframe pieces laid out now. Everything is all ready to get assembled. This is going to be a brand new refresh, so I'll walk through everything here with you real quick. So the subframe is back. It got powder coated. I have a brand new, these are all brand new bolts. These are all zinc plated from SR Auto Source. Yep, there, SR Auto Source. This is their full rear subframe refresh kit for all the bolts. And then I'll walk through the arms that I've got over here. So these are new Nismo lower control arms, Voodoo 13 upper camber arms, Voodoo 13, and then these are the traction rods, and then these are Voodoo 13 rear toe arms. So I've got my own kind of Hicus Delete kit that I got set up here. This is actually a bracket that got powder coated to match the subframe, and that bracket is actually from Driftworks. It used to be orange, and now it is now it's the desert charcoal from Prismatic. And then using these toe arms, yeah, everything should line up and look really nice when I get everything bolted together. This is actually a subframe reinforcement kit from KTS. I got that shipped from RHD Japan. Anyway, I got the rear knuckles cleaned up, new seals are put in, and I got the big brake bracket kit for the rear. This is to put Cadillac CTS V 4-piston Brembos on the rear. And yeah, everything looks great. It's going to be, I'm going to start putting it all together here shortly, and then sliding it under the car and back up in. Let's get to it. Alright, so what I'm doing now is getting this actually, I need to have a baseline setting for the adjustable arms. When the car is back on its wheels, I'm going to be taking to get an alignment, but in order to actually get the car to the alignment shop, this needs to be fairly close. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the old one and I put this bolt through, so that way it goes through the two eyes and directly into here. And then I did this on the bottom as well, so the bolt is through the eyes. And what I did was I adjusted this nut and this nut, so that way they are basically the same length. Now it's not going to be perfect, but it'll be close enough in order to get me to where I need to go. Voodoo 13 sent some instructions along so you can see what the safe range is for the adjustment. So the side that has the eyelet is no more than 0.61 inches, and then the side that has this bracket here, that one is no more than 0.98 inches. I have measured it with my caliper, and all of the and both edges of the arm are within the safety tolerances, so we're going to be good. I'm going to be doing this with all the other arms as well, for the camber arms and also the traction arms as well. I've got the old ones kind of sitting here in this bucket. Yeah, bucket. I got the old arms sitting here in this box, so I'll be taking them out and putting them side by side to measure and try and get that as close as I can. Yeah, so that's the next step. Then I'll get everything assembled. Alright, I have now gotten everything kind of put out of the way here so I can start reassembling this thing. I now have the new wheel bearings and the new hub are attached to the knuckle. I've actually got the subframe now on these dollies, so that way I can kind of move it around, and it should make it easier for me to rotate this and then slide it directly under there and position it. That way I could then lift it up into the bottom, bolt it all down. Picked these up at Harbor Freight. They were like 10 bucks each. They should work well. We'll see. I got the first arm started here, right in here. Gonna throw the bolts in, get everything torqued down. Alright, look at that. Subframe is mostly assembled with all the arms. Let me show you what we're looking at here. This was actually a lot more this was actually a whole lot more pain than I thought it was going to be. There were some issues that I had because I bought, well, first of all, I have all aftermarket arms, and I bought a kit that has all of the subframe bolts from SR Auto Source, but those bolts are actually made to fit the stock arms. Because I have some aftermarket arms, some of the widths, like for example this one, is a little bit too wide and there was not enough threads on the end, so I ended up having to swap out and use the bolt that came with the arm instead of being able to use these nice fancy zinc coated ones. Also, because of this KTS subframe reinforcement kit that I got, these two arms, there's 4 of them, 2 on this side and then 2 on that side. The way that these actually are, the bolt was too short on this one as well, so I needed to use the bolt from the kit. So I have this one, and then I also have this one. So these 2 bolts I had to use. Anyhow, not a huge deal. It's just I'm gonna have a couple of leftover bolts from the SR Auto Source kit. Not a big deal, like I said. Anyway, all of the knuckle and everything is put back together with the redone wheel bearing, brand new wheel bearing and new hub. I got this all torqued down now. The SR Auto Source kit comes with these new bolts as well to hold on the knuckle, or hold the wheel bearing to the knuckle, I should say. I've got this put on now. There's a little spacer that I had to actually cut the old one off of the other arm to actually tuck it up underneath the here. I'll insert that video of me actually doing that now so you can see it. Finally got this piece separated. Now I got to knock it out of here. You have to save this little piece right here because the new lower control arms do not come with this piece. So they're like $15–17, but I mean, it's just a spacer, so I'll cut it off and I'll knock it out with my vise, and then we'll be putting it on the new one. Alright, so now I got this little piece here. I'm going to stuff it down here in between my vise. And then whack it. There it is, done. But this is all put together. I got the new cotter pin put in. I got Nismo lower control arms, this KTS reinforcement kit. The rest of the arms are all adjustable, and they are from Voodoo 13, as you can see right there. Coming around to this side, this bolt, I'm waiting for these bolts to show up. I had to use the old ones because the SR Auto Source kit did not come with these, so I actually had ordered a couple and they should be here tomorrow. So I'll swap out these old bolts for some brand new ones when they arrive. But this is actually a Voodoo 13 toe arm from an S13. This is actually a bracket that was from Driftworks, but I had it was orange. Actually, it was like orange like that thing. And I had it powder coated to match the subframe. So the Voodoo 13 kit works perfectly for this Hikist Delete. And then I've got the upper camber arm from Voodoo 13, and then also Voodoo 13 traction arm as well. So next things to do, I've got to get this, I got to get the Atessa system sorted out. I've got a new accumulator, which is in this box. So which is that part number. I'll be putting that on. And then I got new hoses that I'm waiting to arrive. So I'll get all that sorted out. Then I'll be able to put that, I'll be able to put the diff back in, put the axles back in, get that all bolted together, and put the Atessa system back on, slide it back under the car, and put it in. Axles are sitting over there waiting to go on. All right, we're getting ready to put the diff in. I got the axles put in now. And slid in. This axle went in actually pretty nice and easy. That axle, this is the one that I had difficulty actually getting out and had to have pressed out. Had some difficulty going back in. So I wonder if it's just the splines maybe on this end. Hard to say. I hope I never have to take that thing out again. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, getting ready to put the diff back in now. Lining up all the bushings. I got the diff bushings put in on the front and the diff bushings put in on the rear, and everything's kind of lined up, and now I'm just gonna get my jack and then put the diff on the jack and push it up. All right, let's take a look and see where we're at now. Most everything is back in. The diff is installed. One of the things I wanted to point out, these are white line diff bushings for the front. They do not come with instructions, which is a bit frustrating. So the way they actually get installed is there is two pieces, a thick piece which goes on the top, a thin piece which goes on the bottom, and then a metal washer which goes underneath, and then the sleeve goes down through the middle. That is how you install the front diff bushings. Rear bushing just gets pressed in from the rear. It has a urethane black disc, then it has this metal cup that goes in. This does not actually, it does come with a spacer, but the GTR does not need the spacer because it fits right up against the edge of the cup. Alright, I am getting ready to put this thing back in now. Everything's been torqued down. All of the new hose lines are installed. I got the clamps in place. Sitting on these dollies so that way I can wheel it back up underneath the car, and also leaving space to get the jack underneath. I already got the jack in position. I'm gonna hopefully slide this thing right up underneath the car right there. I've also replaced these lines here. These ones are from RHD Auto Design. Shout out to him. Nice. All right, everything's in position. All right, go ahead and jack slowly. It's up under there mounted. I'm still holding it in place while I bolt these back on, but everything is in place now. I got the Atessa lines hooked back up, and then down in there I got the Atessa plug back in, and right now I'm just tightening everything down. I'm just getting everything snug down. I'll come back and torque everything down once I get everything tight. Everything's in. I'm gonna actually take the jack out now. Everything's torqued down and in place. So now all I gotta do is get the Hicus up here in the front. I need to get the Hicus reconnected up here, and then I need to get the handbrake cables put back in, reattach the prop shaft, and then add fluid and bleed the system. I need to put the the coilover back in, and then I have my Kansai service rear strut tower bar to go in. So I need to cut and trim the interior carpet here, and then I'll get all this put back into. Alrighty, I'm putting the coilover in now. A little trick that I wanted to show you for this is putting the jack just underneath of the knuckle and giving it a little press to push it up. That way you don't have to strain really hard to hold it. And then that gives you enough time to then come down in here and put the bolts in, or put these nuts on top of these. Alright, so there you have it. That's the subframe refresh. Everything is installed and ready to go. Pretty soon I'll have a roller. I'll be able to get the wheels back on, get the brakes on, get the brakes bled. Everything will be nice and tidy, and hopefully I'll be able to get this thing fired up and started pretty soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.